My sister hated her daughter, despite always wanting to be a mother, and when I found out why I destroyed both of our families. At first, my whole family, me included, thought it was solely because Kaylee was a girl. You see, ever since my sister Janet was little, she claimed to hate girls and only like boys. Friends, romantic partners, co-workers, she only surrounded herself with males. When Janet got pregnant the first time, she threw this massive gender reveal party where everything was decorated in blue in hopes of it being a boy. I remember watching her face just fall when pink smoke filled the backyard. She forced a smile, but I saw her shoulders slump. The rest of her pregnancy, she spent sharing articles about toxic femininity and posting in these boy mom Facebook groups about hoping for a son next time. After Kaylee was born, things got weird. Janet would dress her only in gray or beige clothes. She called her the baby instead of her name. At family gatherings, she'd complain that Kaylee was too emotional, too needy, too dramatic. The kid was barely 2 years old. She'd downright tell everyone she didn't want her. Meanwhile, my husband Ryan and I had been trying to have kids for 7 years. We'd been through everything. The medications, the procedures, the crushing disappointments. I remember asking Janet if maybe she'd consider giving Kaylee to us, seeing as she clearly didn't want it. She got this crazy look in her eye, then told me she'd rather sell Kaylee than give her to me and Ryan. I still can't believe I thought she was exaggerating. When Janet announced her second pregnancy last year, she was up in arms about it being a boy. She announced if this was a girl, she'd terminate it. She wasn't having another failure. During pregnancy, she tried every old wives' tale. She checked Chinese gender calendars. She took oils and special medicine. She even looked into expensive gender selection IVF. We all thought it was crazy until the day we found out she was actually having a boy. She went insane, so happy with joy. I remember the gender reveal party when the smoke became blue. She dropped to her knees and cried tears of joy. Kaylee waddled over to her to hug her and inquire about what was happening, but she literally pushed her aside, causing her to stumble and scrape her knee against a metal swing. It was insane to watch. We didn't really interact much with Janet for the rest of the pregnancy, and even after she gave birth, the family kept our distance, especially given as she had gone away to travel in Europe as giving birth would be cheaper there. But then about 2 months after her baby boy Liam was born, we all hopped on a FaceTime call, 7 members of the family. At first, it was sweet. Liam was sleeping, and Janet was showing him off in his little mommy's man onesie. Well, that's when my aunt asked to see Kaylee. Janet's eyes went wide. She didn't really respond, just looked down and quietly said she didn't have her here. My aunt pushed her to explain, and that's when Janet admitted she'd put Kaylee up for adoption mid-December, while she was 6 months pregnant with Liam. She said she couldn't handle 2 kids, and giving her away before having to get Christmas presents would save some money for the Europe travels. Everyone in the call was shocked. My grandmother started clutching her chest not even 30 seconds later. Her breathing got ragged, and she kept gasping Kaylee's name. I was screaming at Janet that me and Ryan could have taken Kaylee, although he did look super uncomfortable the second I said that. Either way, the call descended into chaos. Janet disconnected while my grandmother had to be rushed to the ER. When I got home that night after ensuring grandma was okay, Ryan was acting extremely strange. First, I found him in our bedroom deleting photos from his phone. They were all from 4 years ago. The photos seemed random, some seemed like black and white ultrasound lookalikes. The timeline did match up to when I was pregnant before miscarrying, so it could have been a coincidence. But I still decided to press him a little. I asked him what he was deleting, and he just stood up and went to the bathroom to keep deleting. When he came back out, I asked him what he was doing in there, and he just snapped. He told me I was paranoid. I should let it go. That the fact Kaylee was given for adoption was Janet's business we shouldn't intrude on. This was strange. I hadn't even mentioned Kaylee. I remember hiring a private investigator the next day. I specifically told him to look into where Kaylee was, her paternity, and stuff to help build me a CPS case. As expected, the PI worked fast. Within 2 weeks, he had hotel records, credit card receipts, and recovered deleted messages. The timeline was damning. 4 years ago, right after my miscarriage when I was hospitalized, Janet had comforted Ryan. Kaylee was born exactly 9 months later. The PI even managed to get Kaylee's DNA from a toothbrush she used to use at my house. It was a match to Ryan. I remember breaking down when I found out. It took me everything I had not to scream and just blow everything up, but I didn't. I stayed calm. And a week later, I found myself sat in my car outside my apartment holding the manila envelope with all of this evidence. My husband would be coming home in an hour. Janet was coming around to catch up at that exact same time. Full story on channel, linked below.